Oh, it's on.
Are you ready to start us?
It's on.
Oh, okay. Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. This is a very real life video because Mark and Naomi are out on a walk. So I have Samuel on down here in the house, and these guys all wanted to help me do the book reviews for this week or this time. We haven't done book reviews for a little bit because things have just been busy, but we need to go back to the library today because we want to get new books for Before Baby. I am 37 weeks, 3 days, something like that. So we're going to go back and exchange our books. So we figured we'd tell you about the ones that we liked. So what was your favorite one, Gideon? This book. Okay, so this book is called Nita's First Signs. And we also found there was another one, Nita's Day. I don't know if there's more in this series, but it tells a little girl interacting with her mom and dad. And the book is really cool because when you open it up, it shows you how to sign the thing that they're talking about. Oh, we need to move it over. My videographer's telling me we need to move it over. Abigail's videotaping today. So that way you can see how to sign the words. And it's just very easy. Thank you, change, eat, please. Those types of things, right? And then in Nita's Day, she's playing with her parents. And so ball, clothes, potty, play, those types of things. You liked those, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were fun. So those are by Kathy Macmillan. Can you see that? Okay, videographer, put those on the floor. Okay, Josiah, Uriah, whatever child you are. Uriah. What book is that? We are getting over colds. So. Amelia Bedelia. Why do we like Amelia Bedelia so much?
She is so funny.
Because she is really funny. Amelia Bedelia takes everything very literally, right? Yeah. So, like, what's something she does wrong? We had a couple of Amelia Bedelia books. What's something she does wrong?
Like heating up a can of soup, she puts
the can in the pot and heats the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Boy, you need to go wipe your nose. Go get a tissue. You can come back. I really like Amelia Bedelia because it makes you think about what words you use that don't make sense in modern, like, to somebody who's very literal. So if you said, I have a frog in my throat, most people would understand I'm coughing or I can't talk right, or I feel a little hoarse, but Amelia Bedelia doesn't think like that. And so just being able to think through how your kids might interpret words that you say. Amelia Bedelia is very funny. Okay, what book did you have? Why did you like the book Eclipse so much?
Because we saw an eclipse.
Hold on, you gotta wait. Not your turn. Because why?
We saw eclipse and they were in the dark.
Uh-huh. Did we go see the eclipse?
And we got leg in 10 minutes ago.
So anyway, we went and saw the eclipse this year, and then we found this book. I think it was written in 2000, like I think it was about the 2017 eclipse. It was about a little boy and his dad who went to the eclipse, and they were gonna then go back to the 2024 eclipse. Sorry for my messy hair and falling off head cover. They were gonna go back to the 2024 eclipse, and just this little boy doing the research. It was just a really cute book. It's got big chunky pictures, small words, but it does talk about what an eclipse, what actually happens. So it was neat. Okay, Abigail. Okay, what book do you, hold on, you want to show this one? Okay, these books we really like. I think I've mentioned them before, but the Wimmel books, there's multiple ones. There's this one. There's one about cars and things that go on the farm. And there's construction site one. I haven't seen that one yet. But every page is just find things on the page.
Yeah. So here is what you have to find
On each page.
So this is on every page, and then these on certain pages.
And it's just a very fun, can we find this thing? There's really cool things happening on every page. All kinds of things to look at. It's exciting. Yeah, we like those. Yeah, so we'll just sit down and have the little ones, like Gideon and Malachi, just tell us stories about what's happening on the page. And so it's been neat. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
I have the one that I am Neil Armstrong.
You're not Neil Armstrong. Don't tell everybody that. Okay, so the book is called I Am Neil Armstrong, I'm Really Not. And it's written by Brad Meltzer, and there's other books in this series.
He's not either.
No.
Brad Meltzer's not Neil Armstrong. That'd be silly to have two names. Josiah. No more. There's a whole bunch. It's okay. You don't have to read all of them. But it goes through who Neil Armstrong was, but it's comic book. Huh?
And what he did.
And what he did. But it's comic book form, but it actually teaches real history. So it's very cool.
It's about Neil Armstrong.
Here.
I have one.
Okay, hold on. Gideon thinks he's funny. Gideon thinks that Josiah is funny. Here. Can you show us what this book is?
Yep.
Yep. This one is called Llama Phones
What's the actual name for it?
by Janet Coate.
What's
What?
the actual name for
Homophones?
Homophones.
The Llama Phones. There's also 2 other books in this series. But anyway, it talks about the llama. Could be a fairy, F-A-I-R-Y, or ride on a ferry. And the words that sound the same but mean 2 different things. So it's a cute book. It's just a board book. Yep.
This one is the way Muzzle saw, and he was asking his mom if his mom still loves him even though he was being naughty.
So it's about this boy is asking, "Why do you love me?" And she's like, "Why do you think I love you? Because sometimes I'm good. Why do you love me when I'm naughty?"
Right. It's a very cute book about how mothers love their kids all the time. Hey guys, sorry, the video got just stopped earlier because we had to deal with something and then the day got away. So now we're like multiple hours later and we're outside and I figured I'd finish what we're gonna do for the book review. So the next book is called White is for Blueberry and it's by George Shannon. And this book's really cool because it talks about different colors you see in nature when like the sky is orange because of a sunset and that type of thing. So it's just an interesting book, a way to teach kids about looking at nature around them. This book, we didn't actually read it, but a lot of kids looked through it. Backyard Detective, Critters Up Close. And so we would talk about critters, trying to get there, my fingers aren't working. So we talk about critters, and then there'd be a picture where you can find them in it. But the critters that it talked about, it had pictures of, my drink over. It had pictures of and would talk a little bit about each animal, but the kids had fun looking at the pictures. We like to do books that are teaching things while we read them. So I found this book, Everybody Says Shalom, which is just a picture book about Israel and just kids who live in Israel. There's also a book called Everyone Says Bonjour by the same person, but I couldn't find that at my library. But then we also found these, which was Count Your Way Through Israel and Count Your Way Through China. And so different things I don't remember. I remember in the Israel one, 2 stood for David and Goliath who fought each other. China, there was stuff about calligraphy, and we just like things that introduce in a very small way. Ooh, it's getting windy. Things about different cultures or things about different parts of the world that the kids can investigate more if they want to, or just have a basic idea of here's what happens with, in these countries. Okay, these 2 are a little more in-depth. This one is called Mercedes and the Chocolate Pilot. We've read multiple books about this man, but this is based on a true story of the Berlin airlift and the candy that dropped from the sky. And so when there was East Germany and West Germany, and Berlin, East Berlin and West Berlin. And there was airspace for United States to come in and drop food and provisions for the people who were not getting the food and provisions. There were men who worked on the planes and they would fly over and drop candy to the kids waiting at the airfield. And this is about a little girl who later got to meet the man who was dropping candy. She had written a letter to him. There's multiple books about this guy. So if you look up the Chocolate Bomber, Chocolate Pilot, the guy's name, I want to make sure I get it right.
I think it says it at the end of it.
Halverson. We'll get it.
Something Halverson. It was at the very end of the book, I think.
Very end of the book.
It had a picture
So
of
anyway,
him.
it has nice pictures in it too. But Gale, you get that? Gale Halverson. So if you look up his name, you can find books about him. We've found books that are longer, like chapter books, and then books that are like picture books. And then the last book of what we read this time is called Ice Story, Shackleton's Lost Expedition. And it has lots of actual photographs. And it's the story of Shackleton taking his men on the Endurance down to Antarctica. They got stuck. Eventually, the Endurance sunk. They had to walk and row their little boats through ice. They had to leave part of the crew so that the other part of the crew could go find safety. And just their story of trying to live on seals they could hunt and the food that they had taken, and having to do amputations because of frostbite. It's a very, I wouldn't say it's a gruesome story, it's an intense story.
It's raw, it's real.
Yeah, it's very real. So, but it was a good book. We read it as a family so we could talk about things. And then we had different times where we would like one time we looked up a picture of an elephant seal, and the kids all tried to draw an elephant seal while I was reading about the book and stuff like that. So anyway, we enjoy reading books like that are about history, about science, introduce kids to different topics. So those are our books. We're going to take those back, and we will tell you guys another time about our library haul. But I don't know if it'll be next time, because sometime between now and then, there's probably going to be a baby born. So we'll see you guys next time on Herding Little Calves to the Glory of God.